Hi, it's Leah from the Relaxed Gal Beauty channel, and today I wanted to share a video of me trying a new foundation. When it comes to foundations, I've been very picky about the foundations that I use. I typically stick with powder foundations because I have skin that tends to be more on the oily side. So my skin is actually like oily, particularly up here in the top in my T-zone, and then it can sometimes be oily down here in my chin, but then other times it may act like dry skin. So I can go between combination and full-on oily skin. Now that more different types of foundations have come out and I've started to learn more about my skin type and more about makeup in general, I've decided to venture into the world of liquid foundations. And I have been using a drugstore liquid foundation, but thought that it might be nice to find one that was a little more higher end that I could then use for special occasions or when I needed something that would last longer throughout the day. So that led me to Sephora, where I ended up getting shade matched by their Shade IQ tool and got some sample foundations, brought them home and tried them. And I'm going to show you exactly what happened when I did that and what foundations that I got. So I'm going to be trying on the first of the foundation samples that I got from Sephora, but before I do that, I want to make sure that I swatch them for you first. So the three samples that I got was the Marc Jacobs Shameless Foundation. We also have the Laura Mercier Silk Cream Oil-Free Foundation. And then we have the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear. So I'm going to swatch all three and I'm going to see if they're too dark, like I'm scared that they are, or if they're just right. First I'm going to take the Marc Jacobs and we will swatch that. I have no primer on right now. Liquidy. Let's do that. What do you think? It's kind of not as dark as I thought it was going to be. Alright, now we've got Laura Mercier. Let's do that next to it. Ooh, this one's a bit redder. And last is NARS. Ooh, wow, this is a liquid mess in here. All right, get a little bit. Hopefully this is enough for my whole face. Ooh, kind of like that. All right, so here we go. There are three of them. Okay, after swatching them, I don't even know if I'm gonna touch the Laura Mercier foundation at all because it seems like it's way too red for me. But I do want to try the NARS. That's actually one of the two foundations that I went into Sephora to actually get a sample of. The other one that I wanted to get a sample of, which was a Too Faced foundation, I got the Laura Mercier instead. Yeah. And for some reason, the salesperson screwed up and gave me Laura Mercier instead, and I didn't catch it until after I got home, and I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't look right. Okay, so I'm gonna take the NARS foundation. It seems like it's a little messy. I don't know how much is in here, but it says a little goes a long way, and you're supposed to put it on your face initially with your fingers, and then use something else to blend it in. So I did go, before I started putting even the primer on, I washed my hands. I am a big proponent of you don't touch your face with dirty hands. Like, you need to wash your hands before you touch your face, because otherwise you're transferring all kinds of mess to your face. All right, so I'm gonna be looking in my mirror over here and starting to blend this in, and I might apply more if I feel like I need it. All right, what do you think? I feel like this is dark. I mean, I feel like this foundation is too dark for me. So I would not be wearing this out. See, this is why I wanted to put it on and try it here at home, where I'm not necessarily going out or don't have to go out. So then that way I can kind of see if this is the right shade. I was like, I don't know. I mean, it looks like I did something wrong with my face. Like, my face is completely different color than the rest of my body. It's not even funny. All right, so the foundation is on. I'm not gonna put on anything else because I'm gonna be working around the house. I don't feel like doing an additional full face. Maybe this might lighten up a bit if I did put some powders and stuff on it, but I don't know. I can't. I don't want to do that. I want to see how this foundation is going to work. I'm going to start painting my wall. I'm going to start doing some other stuff around the house. So I will check in periodically and we'll see how the foundation is wearing. So I just finished painting, doing first coat on the wall, and it took me probably about 30 minutes because it was a small wall that I was doing. But this is what the foundation looks like. I have not blotted. I didn't put any setting powder on it. I am a little bit shiny, but I didn't set anything, and I've kind of been working hard. But when, you can't really tell here, but when I looked in the mirror, like, this really oxidized and it looks dark. Let me actually go in my bathroom and maybe the light will show that better there. Can you see? Can you tell that my face is just a lot darker than the rest of my body? Like, I just don't like it. Ooh, I got some paint on my face. Yeah, this color just does not work for me, but so far I am liking the foundation. I mean, it does seem, I don't know if it's transfer resistant or not, but so far I'm liking the foundation. I've been sweating a little bit. I haven't blotted, but I haven't been dripping sweat. So it does seem to be wearing well, but I'm gonna keep wearing it for pretty much the rest of the day as long as I don't go to the store. And we'll see what it looks like in a little bit. So I am done with my painting. I'm cleaning up right now and I am wearing the foundation. I did put a little bit more on to see if maybe I had more, I'd like the shade better. I still hate the shade. I don't think it's the right shade. I think the undertone is perfect. The shade is just a tad too dark. I mean, I just hate it. Like, I hate the shade. Like, yeah, I got Jackiana on. I've gone outside and been cleaning up my painting tools, and I'm in my backyard, and not too many people see me in my backyard. My neighbors aren't usually in their backyard, but I'm like hiding my face because I don't want anyone to see how dark it is. And the shade looks fine when there's shadow on my neck, but it kind of looks okay in the camera, but my face is just unnaturally dark for me, and I'm just like not jiving with it. So this shade ain't gonna fly. And so I realized I never told you what the shade actually was. So in this foundation, the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation, the shade that I was matched with is actually called Zambi. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's dark 5. It's a deep with neutral undertones. It's the next to last shade. I think the foundation so far is good. It's worn relatively well. It does build up because, like I said, I added a little bit more on, and I think if I did like setting and additional stuff on top, it would look awesome. Just not this shade. I can't say it enough, not this shade. So as you can see, those foundations did not work for me. The one that I did end up trying, as you saw, was the NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation. And I actually liked the formula, but the shade was just too dark. It was just off. So I decided to go back to Sephora and get shade matched again. And this time I feel like they did a better job. So I told the lady who ended up helping me that I had been shade matched with like the next to darkest shade in almost every foundation line. And she agreed with me that that was not the right shade for me. She said that a lot of times the Shade IQ tool will sometimes shade match you a little dark, and also it also tends to read red undertones in people who don't have red undertones. She said you are a little more neutral with some slight golden undertones, which I had kind of deduced on my own, and so it was great to get that validation from her. So she shade matched me in the NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation, a different shade. I can't even pronounce the name of it, so I'll put it up here on the screen and you can see what it is, but it's not one of the darkest shades. So the NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation, it's got a few things that actually gravitated me towards it. It is full coverage, which, okay, I have to admit that didn't necessarily gravitate me towards it because I'm not a fan of full coverage. I like more like medium to full, but I thought, hey, it might be great to try it out. It's supposed to be good for sensitive, normal, dry, combination, oily skin type. So basically almost every skin type there is out there. The finish is radiant, which kind of scared me a little bit because I have oily skin, and my idea of radiant is that I'm going to start shining even more, particularly in my T-zone area where I tend to start like looking like an oil slick as the day goes on. So I'm going to read from the website here what it says the foundation is all about. It's got medium buildable coverage, up to 16 hours of lightweight, natural, fade resistant wear, and then it's got full powder radiance to smooth the look of skin. And it's supposed to be fade resistant, which I think I might have mentioned before, but it's also supposed to be transfer resistant, sweat resistant, and the color is supposed to stay true all day. So after trying the foundation in the wrong shade, I decided to try it in the right shade and use it, or I should say wear it, when I was going on a 12-hour drive from Florida to North Carolina to spend a weekend with my family. So I was going to be driving in 100-degree weather from Florida up to North Carolina in my car, and I was going to be getting in and out of the car because I would be stopping at rest areas to, you know, use the restroom, and also to stop at some fast food restaurants to get some food. I would also be stopping to get gas, so I'd be getting in and out of the car so there wouldn't be just like me sitting there. And I would have sun coming in on the windows. I figured that it was a good way for me to really test, does this 16-hour wear really work? Is it fade resistant? Does the color stay true all day? You know, does it live up to the claims? So that's what I decided to do, and here's what happened. All right, so I'm going to try the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation in the color that I actually got that is supposed to be a match for me. So first I'm wetting my makeup sponge, and I'm going to do this little technique that I actually started doing since I bought the Laura Mercier this setting powder. And so what I've been doing is putting some of the setting powder on my face. Now already primed, moisturized, primed, all good, all done. And so I put this powder on the places of my face where I tend to have a lot of shining happening. And so that's basically my T-zone. Now I've seen some other vloggers do this, and so I decided to try it, and let me tell you, it works. Like, I don't get as shiny and oily as I typically do, even without using a matte foundation. Okay, so that's all in, that's all done. And now for the foundation. So I've got my sample foundation, and I'm just gonna dot it all on my face. Now red, you don't need a whole lot, and it is a full coverage, so I'm not really a big fan of full coverage. So, yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and, ooh, it's making my sponge all dirty. Let's go ahead and start blending it in. This is actually more neutral than what I have been wearing, but because I'm going to put powder on top of it, I don't have too much of a problem with it. It does blend in relatively nicely. This is it. I'm not gonna put any more on. Just gonna blend that in. All right, and then I don't do like a lot of contouring and stuff. So anyway, let me go ahead and finish putting on the rest of my makeup, and then I'll show you what it looks like. All right, this is what the makeup looks like. It's a little more full coverage than I'm used to, so it looks a little weird on me, but it's not too bad. We'll see if it lasts 16 hours because I'm about to be gone for about that amount of time, running and moving before I get anywhere. Oh my goodness, I forgot to put on like eyeliner and I forgot to put on mascara. I totally forgot about that. Okay, we're gonna have to remedy that, but this is what it looks like. And we'll see if it lasts 16 hours, and I'll try to check in every now and then to let you all know what it looks like and if I'm still liking it, and what I'm thinking about this NARS foundation. So I've been wearing the foundation for about 5 hours, and as you can see, I am like all kinds of freaking shiny. Like, it looks really bad right now. So I don't know. And as I've been driving, I've had times where I've had to touch my face because I'm itching and something, and the foundation is just coming off on my fingers. Like, I touch my face and I come away and I've got foundation on my fingers. So it's not transfer resistant, so I don't know. We'll see how this lasts for the rest of my trip, and I'll keep checking in. It's been about 10 hours with the NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation, and once again I am shiny. I blotted about 5 hours ago and I'm shiny again on my T-zone. Like, my Neutrogena foundation doesn't do this, and I do the same process in terms of putting on the powder, using my my primer. So I'm not so I think it's just this foundation. As of right now, I'm thinking this foundation is not for me. So we'll continue wearing it, of course, for the rest of my journey, and I'll try to give you a final report. All right, so bad me. I ended up not recording a final report. I just got stuck in some traffic, and it took me longer to get to my parents' house than I planned. And by the time I got there, I was just exhausted and just got inundated with my parents and my sister, and we started talking, and I didn't get a chance to do a final report. So what I can tell you though is that it just shined up even more. I blotted after that last clip that you saw, and I still ended up shiny again. I don't know if it was really a matter of it wasn't working well with the primer and maybe the setting powder that I used, or how I used the setting powder. I don't know, because I feel like when I had tried it just straight up by itself, yeah, I wasn't driving 12 hours. Yes, I didn't wear it for 12 plus hours. But I felt like I didn't shine up like that. So I think it might have been a combination of the products that I was also using that I didn't use the first time, because I was a little confused about the difference in how my face looked after a certain amount of time. So that being said, I'm not sure if this is the foundation for me. I'm actually wearing it right now, and I'm going to be going out right now for a few hours, and we'll see how it works. And I did put it on slightly differently. I still used my matte primer, and then instead of putting setting powder on in my T-zone like I do when I wear my Neutrogena foundation, I just put the foundation on, and I put it on this time with a brush instead of a sponge. And I actually liked the application of it, the way it looked better when I used the brush instead of the sponge. So that could also be part of it. And then I put the Laura Mercier setting powder on top. So we'll see what this looks like. Like, it's only been like maybe 20 minutes since I put it on, and I actually think it still looks pretty good. I haven't shined up really quickly or anything. So we'll see how it lasts for the few hours that I'm going to be out. I'm not going to be doing any clips or anything about that. But if I do end up liking this foundation and feel like it's something that I should be adding to my makeup bag, then you'll probably see it pop up every now and then in other places. And I might even, actually, no, I will give my final thoughts, my final decision in terms of whether or not this is a foundation I would ever wear for more than a test. On my Instagram. So you want to make sure that you're following me on Instagram at ARelaxedGal. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for hanging in there with all the different clips coming in and out. And I know this was probably a bit of a long one just because I tried the foundation twice. So thank you for sticking around with me. So if you're not already a subscriber, please go ahead and subscribe. And if you'd like to be notified when new videos are uploaded to the Relaxed Gal Beauty channel, please then make sure you hit the bell button next to the subscribe button. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.